Welcome to the Whiskey Vault.
Welcome to Rare Whiskey Day.
Rare Whiskey Friday.
That'll be hard for you to get.
Yeah, when we say rare, we basically mean for the most part, these are going to be a lot of craft distillers without a tremendous amount of distribution. Not necessarily enough of a marketplace to get an episode in and of themselves, but if you're fortunate enough to be in an area where you can get your hands on this, then you're welcome for the review.
Now, this is really exciting to me.
Yeah.
Because these are gifts. We got 3 bottles in a row we're going to do from John and Dani Mueller.
John and Dani Mueller, you magnificent bastards.
Fight.
Now, they also sent Mueller. You know what Mueller is?
I've heard of Mueller.
It's the Chicago bartender handshake.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys are crazy.
Yeah.
I can't handle Mueller,
You
man.
can't do the Mueller?
No. It's down in the office. I know what it tastes like. I haven't even opened that bottle.
Sure.
Because I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it.
All right.
But this is so exciting. So, when we first started doing the Texas Whiskey Blend,
Yes.
and I was like, hey, has anybody else ever gotten multiple craft distilleries
Sure.
to mix their whiskeys together?
Yeah.
The first thing that showed up in my searching was this.
Okay.
It's called the Four Kings.
The Four Kings.
And it's 4 Midwestern distilleries who banded together.
Oh, right on.
Right?
Yeah,
Corsair from Nashville.
Few
in Evanston, Illinois. Journeyman in Three Oaks, Michigan. And Mississippi River in LeClaire, Iowa.
That's awesome.
Now, how cool is that?
That's very cool.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
because we got to keep in mind, these are competitors.
yes, in theory,
Yes.
these are people competing for shelf space,
Right.
right? Who have chosen to work together.
Right.
This is the future of craft. If everybody can get their head out of their ass,
Yes.
this is their future of craft. And they're way ahead of it.
Yeah.
Now, I was pretty sure we were never going to get to try it. Because I think they only release like 500 bottles.
Okay, yeah.
Every time they do
Well,
it.
no, you're
And
building
they
the
do it.
excitement.
So these guys sent us 3 years worth. 2017, 2018, and 2019. Each year it's a different thing. And John and Dani sent us all 3.
That's okay.
Come on!
That's pretty good.
You gotta admit that's exciting.
That's pretty good.
Okay. So this one
So
is
is
a
it-
2017 where each distillery provided a different grain.
Right, now
a
was-
different spirit.
Now, was this the same type of deal that we did with Texas Distilleries, where the head distillers came in, they got together, collaborated on what they
I don't know
thought would
how
be-
they collaborate or who
Okay.
creates the blend, but I
Okay.
know they all contribute whiskey to it.
They all contribute. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I don't know who's like heading it up or making sure the proportions are right.
Yeah.
But this is, I want you to smell it because there's 4 different spirits in here.
Yeah.
Right? Now, as you're smelling it, I'm going to name the spirits. You ready?
Yeah. Well, this is already distinctly American.
So, Mississippi River provided corn whiskey.
Okay.
Journeyman provided wheat whiskey.
Okay.
Few Spirits provided rye.
Uh-huh.
And Corsair smoked malt.
Smoked malt. Okay. All right, because of course
Now,
they know their way around to smoke.
I'm not getting smoked malt in the nose at all right now.
No. I'm getting.
I thought that would dominate.
I'm getting maltiness though. I'm getting maltiness in the nose, and then that soft sweetness from the wheat. I don't think it's being completely dominated, but wheat is one of these grains that it's going to get overshadowed pretty quickly. But I am getting a nice soft, sweet element in there.
Yeah, usually for me,
And
wheat
with-
shows up more in a sip in the palate than it does in the nose.
Yeah. And then that corn.
It smells really good.
I'm getting that malty, almost not quite. I'm hesitating to say the word because people are going to take it too far with this very slight note of like a cola, like a soda.
Yeah, I can see exactly what you mean by
Yeah.
that. This rounded sugar note.
Yeah, but don't
That's not quite molasses.
overemphasize that though. It's just a bit in there.
And there is a dry dustiness to the nose.
Yeah.
That's just slight. Very slight.
I think the proof's going to be in the 40s, is what it. Oh,
We're spinning-
wow, 50.7%.
I know.
This presents much more light.
And this is supposed to be Rare Whiskey Day.
The
We should be
alcohol-
moving quicker.
Oh, come on.
I know.
What are you doing?
I know.
Oh, there's that. Oh, the little bit of smoke shows up.
Oh, and it's chocolate. Oh, this is milk chocolate.
Yeah.
Like Cadbury's milk chocolate.
But-
with a hint of smoke.
There you go.
And a little bit of what I would assume to be like barrel notes.
Oh,
This is so good.
Yeah.
Whoever
And then-
blended this.
and then that little
Oh,
bit
man.
of like a soda cola, and then like a a tea like a black tea element in there, and then it finishes with a nice, it's like a hazy hint of that barrel.
Oh, this is beautiful.
I love it.
Okay, 2017 in the books. Keep the glass. Try to keep them in order.
Okay.
So we can go back and forth.
Okay.
We're gonna do 2018 now.
Oh.
Now Oh, mother! I just banged my knee on this. This is the 2018. This is all bourbon that they mixed together, and then they put it into a red wine barrel.
Okay.
That had been used to age tequila.
Oh.
So red
Okay.
wine,
Yeah.
then tequila, then they put this bourbon into it. I like the nose on this one too.
No, the nose is beautiful. I would have never have guessed tequila and
Me either.
red wine influence.
Nope.
Okay, but the
I would have thought there was some kind of a finish, right? Because it's not straight bourbon in the nose.
on the nose,
But I don't know that I could have figured out what.
on the nose, we may be too many steps removed from that tequila to be able to pick it up. We'll see if it shows up on the taste. But
And I'm having a hard time getting a classic bourbon. I'm getting more of just a solid whiskey with this weird, densely sweet sick note at the very, very end of the nose.
there's that. I'm getting, I think, more the charred wood.
Yeah,
on the
and
nose of
leather.
this. Yeah, well,
But like nice oiled leather.
yeah. Oh, okay.
Right? Oh. Shit, man.
That's lovely.
Whoever's blending these things is a damn genius.
And it develops, it unfolds. It's complex.
Man, it is one thing to be able to blend your own products.
Nice
It's
little
another
journey.
to get the styles of 4 different human beings to all work well together. That's not easy.
Well, and circling back to what you said
Whoever
earlier,
did this did such a good job.
circling back to what you said at the very beginning, why we think craft needs to get their head out of their ass, is because even though technically you may have a competitor across town, they're not your competitor. Your real competitor are
Jack
the
Daniels.
giant
Yeah.
established brands on the shelf. So to the extent that you guys can rally together and collaborate and make beautiful things and tell that interesting story in a way that's relevant and exciting to your local marketplace, that's the game. Not, well, that guy has a little distillery 20 miles away and I'm going to get him. It's like, nah, that's thinking too small.
It's way too small. Dude, there's this slight, so it goes sweet and round in the mid palate, and then on the edges, the tannins, this tangy tannin note shows up. It's mostly on the aftertaste.
Yeah.
Where it gets slightly bitter.
Yeah.
And this barrel tannin.
Yeah.
I like it though.
Okay. You know what? Ironically, maybe this is the tequila element. I think I'm getting almost as much smoke. I'll say as much smoke on this.
Yeah.
And there was no smoky bits in there.
And yeah.
I think that may be the tequila presenting as...
Well, I don't know if it.
A little bit of a-
tequila's not going to be smoky.
No, but that tequila, I'm going to say the word acrid. That's not...
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Versus smoky.
Yeah.
Yes, I totally agree. Okay, this year's release, 2019.
Tiny
and by the
snippet.
way,
Yeah.
John and Dani Mueller, come on.
This was a funky...
You guys.
This is an adventure.
This is great.
Yeah.
Okay, rye whiskey
Yeah.
from all of the distilleries,
Okay.
finished in brandy barrels.
Okay. All right. Brandy barrels.
Kind of excited about that too.
It's so these are so unique from each other.
Ooh.
Right?
Yes, they're all totally distinct. Like this is not just re-releasing the same thing with a weird tiny variation.
And are
These are 3 different animals.
I think these are all 50.7%. It looks like these are all 50.7%. Now, this is what's been interesting so far. These are distinct flavors from each other, but if you were going to collapse all of these flavors and have this very generic idea of there's a nice balance of interesting things
Yeah.
that aren't too aggressive and they aren't too faint,
Yeah.
right?
They're just perfectly down the middle.
Right.
You know what? As funny is with these 3 like this, if you had told me these were all from one distillery, and it was no. If you were telling me these were expressions of malt, bourbon, and rye,
Okay, yeah.
that I feel like there's a fingerprint in here.
Well, and it's
Right, like you know, Balcones, no matter what they release, it's like, yep, that's
there's that
Balcones, right?
What you're describing is, I think, it's the really nice balance of, and again, the 50.7 on the nose. I'm thinking this is like mid 40s because you'll often get that alcohol just pop right there.
I feel like what we're getting
Yeah. But the alcohol pops like no. This is much more.
Yeah.
I'll say smooth.
Now the rye and brandy. Oh, it got cinnamony, like dry.
Oh.
Dry cinnamon.
I can't put my finger on this. There's a very specific.
No, it's. Have you ever? You remember cinnamon toast when you make like sugar and cinnamon and put it on toasted bread
with butter.
You ever do it when you put less sugar than you should have and it's too cinnamony?
Okay.
And when you bite it, it tastes dry. Like I needed more sugar in the cinnamon sugar.
I got you. Yeah.
You see what I mean?
That, and then so where's the sweetness coming from? Because it's not the sugar.
It's the brandy.
Okay. Oh man.
Oh, that's nice.
It's so different than the other two.
You know what I feel? Okay, so I'm going to go on record. I could be 100% wrong, so don't take this as gospel truth.
And toast.
Just
Okay.
take this as potentially Daniel being very, very wrong. You right?
Yeah.
Okay. In music, there are a few producers who I always say there are producers who make the artists sound like themselves, and there are producers with a thumbprint.
Right.
There are producers that the artist, when you work with that producer, you end up sounding like you worked with that producer. Like Daniel and Wah.
Right.
Right? Everybody who ever works with Daniel and Wah, you can tell that album is distinct from all their albums.
Right.
It's the album they did with Daniel and Wah. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's a thumbprint of somebody's palate in how they build their blends.
Okay.
Because whoever built these blends,
Yeah.
when they consider it done,
Yeah.
it's got a similar
Complex balance.
palate experience.
Right.
Right? They all taste very different.
Yeah.
But it's got a similar palate journey.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm tasting a producer,
Yeah.
which is why I said I could feel like these came from one distillery,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like I'm tasting someone's thumbprint, even though these are all very different spirits. I have no idea if that's true, but however they blend them, if it's the same guy who has final call on how he mixes them,
Yeah.
you can tell.
The one that's hardest for me to describe so far is this one.
I agree.
It is.
I'm struggling with what to do with it. It actually tastes more brandy than rye.
Well, but again, the rye is there, but it's beyond just what you would expect from rye. There's the rye spice, but then the word that keeps coming to mind is thatch. I'm getting some thatch in there, and then the dry cinnamon toast elements, and then you say the sweetness is coming from the brandy.
Yeah.
I don't know, brandy's enough to dive into that one.
Yeah, that's a whole other ballgame.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go back and say that the 2017 is one of my favorite American blends that I've ever tasted.
Oh yeah.
Period.
Every single one of
jumped
these
to the top.
Every single one of these were lovely.
I mean, they probably aren't submitting these things to. I mean, how would you submit them for awards? There's only 500 bottles.
Yeah. And what's the point? Like, you get people excited to buy something they can't
actually buy.
Yeah.
But son of a bitch.
That's lovely.
I would trust whoever blended these with anything. That guy's got just a brilliant palate. This is John Glazer Compass Box level blending.
So here, I still have some in mind. Don't you dare taste them or I will
Just smell.
just smell.
Yeah.
How different these are.
There's the malt one. Oh no. Yeah, okay. That's the brandy one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, they're so... Damn, that lived up to everything I could ever have hoped for it. That's so exciting.
This should be the pinnacle of praise for us. Are you ready?
Oh man, that's so good. That was... Patrick Kohn, patron saint, gave us 2 bottles.
Oh.
This one and a Compass Box we're going to do next. We still have 2 more bottles, by the way. I just got so excited about this 3.
No, those be Patrick Kohn, the patron saint, the
Patron
previous
saint,
video.
yeah.
Patrick Kohn, your patron saint.
Now, he knows we love Del Bach.
Yeah.
Del Bach is one that we love.
Yeah.
Patrick Kohn knows this.
Yes.
Tucson, Arizona.
Yes.
Our friend Dave Young lives there.
And
he brought me my first bottle.
Yeah, just in terms of doing interesting stuff really well, I'd put them on the same tier as the Corsair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Beautiful stuff.
Now, this is the Distillers cut,
Yeah.
which they release periodically.
Yeah.
And the only downside to this release that I can find is the label is 100% unreadable. And because the design over function.
It's like the Metallica Black
Yeah,
Album.
it's like, God,
remember
it's
Metallica Black Album? You have to hold it in the light just perfectly
oh, it says Metallica.
and squint and see. Oh, okay, I see.
It was so black, it could be no more black. This is a Madeira,
It's an exercise in the art of
and it's cask strength.
blending, utilizing varying malts, cask types, and finishing methods.
Yes.
All to showcase cask strength single malt whiskey.
Yes. Okay, so Del Bach we know as being really smoky, and on some of their stuff, they have some unsmoked stuff, but I really love their smoked releases.
Super dark on this.
But this is a Madeira cask finish.
Okay.
Now, Madeira
Okay.
is a fortified wine from Portugal
Yeah.
made on specific islands, right? And produced under heat. And there's a handful of grapes. Actually, Madeira has a similar spread in variations to port. I mean, to sherry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sherry can go from Fino all the way to Pedro.
Yeah.
Madeira can go from dry all the way to sweet.
Oh, so molasses and black tea on the nose so far.
I'm not getting any of that smoke that I thought I was going to get. So
Nope.
I wonder if they did use the smoky Del Bach or if they used something else.
See, here's the thing. I've been experimenting with my nosing techniques.
Okay.
Because we've been traveling around and working with professionals. I very often see them do this thing where they press the glass up against their face and they breathe in, and I get so much overwhelming intensity.
Me too.
It's like no, I can't actually pick out flavors. I have to hold it very close.
I tried to get on the edge of the rim.
Yeah, I have to hold it very close, but if I have nothing, like a seal almost of the glass against my face, it's like just too overwhelming. It's too overwhelming. I have to back it off before I can pick out the individual layers.
The nose on this might be the best Del Bach I've ever smelled.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. What I expect from Del Bach and the Corsairs out there, hold on.
I know.
What I expect from them to date has been just a funky adventure, something weird and different and interesting. This isn't crazy far outlandish out there.
No.
This is
Scotch. You're about to drink Scotch.
Shut your filthy
I am no
Shut
joke.
your filthy hole.
Sherry cask. This is on par with like your Glendronachs and Abelors. This is on par with any sherry cask, meaty cask strength release.
Here's what I'm getting on the nose. On the nose, I'm getting a dense molasses.
Yeah.
And a black tea.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's that oakiness in the background.
Man, today is a good day. This is good whiskey today.
You say Scotch. I say I'm 3/4 of the way through, and I say this is just a balls out, intense, glorious presentation of American whiskey. And it's not until the last quarter that I start to see glimmers of what I expect to get from Scotch. What are you getting from Scottish whiskey in here? No, man. Not even a little.
Not the nose.
Not even a
Not the nose.
Okay.
The palate.
All right.
It was the sip that did it for me.
Oh, son of a bitch. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Now forget the nose.
Okay.
Doesn't smell anything like it.
Yeah.
But the palate has the same journey.
Yeah.
That's Abelor Abanad.
Oh.
Cask strength Abelor.
Yeah, the
right?
heftiness.
And this is right on par with that.
Wow.
And the nose is better.
Oh.
I think the nose on this Del Bach is better. But the palate is right in line with Abelor Abanad.
You're not wrong. I'm gonna say this. American whiskey.
Oh, gosh, so good.
I think.
I'm hiding this bottle forever. We are not putting this in the vault. This is just mine now.
Okay, so American whiskey.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. American whiskey, there's other countries that have had a huge head start in what they're doing with their whiskeys.
Yeah, for like 150 years.
Right. Now in America,
That's a bit of a head start.
In America, the thing that we have the most heritage in is bourbon. But the thing that's always, the thing that's always frustrated me about the bourbons is we have this limitation with the new oak barrels.
Yeah.
Like, just the things we could do without that limitation. But for the distilleries out there to say, you know what? I don't have to put bourbon on the label. I'm just going to make something that's amazing. I think American distilleries are really starting to come into their own with doing some phenomenal bottlings that can go toe to toe
Oh yeah,
with the best bottlings from any country on earth.
100%.
I'm seeing it. After
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're absolutely getting there.
If my okay, you know what my 2 would be?
Yeah.
Mirador.
Okay.
From Balcones.
Okay.
And this bottle.
Okay.
And the 2017 Four Kings.
Right.
We've just we're doing it, man. We're knocking on the damn door of 200 years of tradition.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one, Patrick Kohn.
Okay.
Who we already graced.
Yes.
But this is a compass box.
By the way,
this is a weird one.
If you ever see the Patrick Kohn, he's an amazing human being.
Yeah.
He's a lot of fun to hang out with.
Yes, he is.
Yes, magnificent bastard.
Patrick sent us a compass box because he knows we love compass box.
Yeah.
But this is a weird one.
Okay.
This is a blend of whiskey and brandy.
So what's the category?
It's called Spirit, I guess. No, it's got a blend of Scotch whiskey and Calvados. Now, Calvados is a specific kind of brandy, Normandy region of France. Sorry, my brain just went totally froze right now. It's typically pear or apple brandy, right?
Yeah.
But it is brandy.
Man, you said pear, and as I'm nosing this, it's like like a. Oh, okay.
Now the thing about brandy is
concentrated.
Brandy is distilled like whiskey, often in pot stills, right?
Sugary sweet.
And here's what I liked about this. The John Glazier at Compass Box said, "At home, I've been blending whiskey and Calvados for years."
And Cherry Jolly Ranchers. He's been blending this at home?
At home.
Oh.
So at home, he's like, I'll mix my whiskey with brandy.
Right.
Because he's a blend, it's just his hobby. And so he was like, you know what? Let's do it for the world.
So I feel very comfortable saying this on a Rare Whiskey Friday. Because the people that are watching these episodes.
Yeah, and we're 24 minutes in. The people who are still watching
these episodes.
Yeah.
All about whiskeys that are hard, if not impossible, to ever get your hands on.
Right.
Okay, here's the thing. In whiskey and social groups and blogs and comments and subreddits and whatever, you'll find human beings that have basically chosen whiskey to be a core piece of their identity.
Yeah.
And if you don't fall in line with what my experience has been and what my perception has been, and what my prescription to the correct way of experiencing whiskey
and how to drink it correctly,
then you're obviously peasants and you don't know anything. And
right.
But the people who actually make the whiskey, the people who actually,
they're doing all kinds of shit.
The people who actually have a career of mastering this craft, those people, let me put it this way, those aren't their favorite people. And if you really get them talking, right, the people that are winning the awards and the people that are, celebrated for their books and their bottlings and all this other stuff, the human beings that really make them kind of tense up are those aggressive enthusiasts,
like the whiskey snob,
the whiskey snobs that are trying to catch you and not knowing this, the
obscure
the grain
facts.
Percentage of something that came out in 1942.
Yeah,
it's
so brutal.
It's as you would expect. If you're just a good human being and you enjoy something, but you prioritize the humans around the bottle
versus the bottle,
then that's the name of the game. At the highest
levels, they just want to hang out and have a good time. This is roughly 37.5. It's almost 38% Calvados, right?
Whoa!
So it's mostly Scotch.
Yeah.
And the Scotch is Craigellachie, Tanninic, Dallin.
So what often happens whenever you mix things that are very different from each other is the flavors just kind of collapse in on each other and it falls flat. This, it feels like I'm finding some very expected, beautiful whiskey notes, but there's this element of other.
Yeah, there's this weird, dense, perfumey kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is unique. So I really hated Orangery, which was the orange and clove spice one from. So I was a little nervous about this one because it's blended with non-whiskey. I actually like this one.
I'm trying to recalibrate my whiskey note, lexicon to try and put notes onto this. It actually made it a weird and interesting animal that is not classically whiskey. It's, what it is? It's like a chimera. It's like, it's a beast of, very different, parts kind of shoved together. But it works. It's functional.
You know what this is reminding me of?
Yeah.
So on the weekend, I drove up and I went past West, and of course, I had to stop at the Czech stop for kolaches.
Yeah.
And I got some of the classic fruit kolaches.
Oh.
And if you added alcohol to that,
Are you saying?
it reminds me of the fruit kolaches.
Which one?
I don't know. Maybe pear. I didn't have the pear, so I had strawberry and peach.
Have you ever had the flavor called all fruit?
No.
All fruit is just like a
Just amalgam of things.
an amalgam of things. I'm getting kind of like an all fruit.
An all fruit pastry.
Yeah, an all fruit. Yeah, absolutely.
But alcoholic.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. That's lovely. In terms of Compass Box, I think there's several other Compass Boxes that I would like more than.
Don't start with this one if you're trying to explore Compass Box. But if you love Compass Box,
but it's super interesting.
it's a journey.
All right. I think,
Man, this was a really long video. We're 30 minutes now.
Hey,
But
Chad.
it
Chad.
was a fun day.
Here's
man.
dividing, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight me, I fight for
If
a
you
friend.
steal, may you steal a lover's heart.
And if you drink, may you drink with us.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us in the Whiskey Vault. Don't forget to throw in a like, hit that subscribe button on the bottom right, and drop a question or comment down below.